Okay, folks, with me today is the voice of tennis in New Zealand, Matt Brown. Matt travels around the world and covering tennis, and also, obviously, most of you probably would have heard him commentating on the ASB Classic alongside the well-known David Mustard. So thanks for joining me today, Matt.
Not a problem, Andrew. Great to be here.
First question is I ask everybody, do you expect to get fitter or fatter during the lockdown period?
Fatter, without a doubt. Like just about everybody, working from home now. Supposedly, I thought I was an essential service, but we've managed to rig it so that I can do my job from home. So, yeah, very much so fatter. The kitchen is just around the corner from my garage where I'm based out of. And I tell you what, I seem to be going back and forth a lot.
Okay, cheers. So, Matt, your life has been significantly affected by the virus. Obviously, you work ZB and Radio Sport, and we've seen the end of Radio Sport. So, how have things changed for you?
Yeah, massive change, really. An end of an era. Incredible 22 years Radio Sport have been going, and I'd been there for most of it, on and off. And yeah, it's just such a shame. But like so many things and so many businesses that are suffering at this time, it's something that you can accept to a point, I think, but hope that radio sport or a version of it will emerge somewhere when we've got sport and more sport to talk about. That said, Andrew, the last couple of weeks had some great content on the last 2 weeks of Radio Sport, some fascinating stories, even though there wasn't much sport happening. But hey, look, I've survived. I'm a survivor. I've still got a few days of work with Newstalk ZB, so I'll still be kind of running the Radio Sports news side of things with ZB over the coming months, and it's a good challenge too, because of course there isn't the sports results to talk about, but there's still lots of interesting stories around what athletes are doing, particularly during this difficult time.
Yeah, cool. And just moving on to tennis, the effect it will have on some of the maybe players at more the older ages, the Federers, the Serenas. Do you think it's removed their chance of any more Grand Slam titles?
Yeah, I think so. I certainly think Roger Federer, who'll be 40 just after trying for Wimbledon next year. Of course, Wimbledon cancelled this year, so he was going to turn 39 in August. He'll be turning 40 next August, so he'll go to the Tokyo Olympics, and I'm sure that will be his swan song next August. I know he wanted to play the games this year, but he'll be 40, and the chances of a 40-year-old or nearly 40-year-old winning another Grand Slam it just seems, if anyone can do it, it's Roger, of course, knowing what he's done. And I was one of the many that never thought he would win that 19th and 20th Grand Slam before he won the 2017 Aussie Open, and then went on to win Wimbledon that year too. So I wouldn't write him off completely at Wimbledon, but I think another year, this year I thought he had a reasonable shot, but another year just might be too hard. The other thing I would say on that, though, Andrew, is, look, Novak Djokovic, Rafa Nadal are going to be a year older as well next year, 34, 35. It's not going to be as easy for them as well. And who knows, maybe that next generation that we've talked about for years will emerge and start being a bit more dominant in the Grand Slams, if, as I suspect, this year is a bit of a write-off for Grand Slam tennis.
Yeah, and I suppose any names you think, because obviously in the ASB this year we saw a lot of young talent coming through. Any names there you think with an extra year under their belt might be the ones we look out for?
Yeah, look, I think all the usual suspects. I think such as Zverev has shown signs that he could well emerge. A Karen Khachanov, who was in Auckland, another player definitely capable. If you can get that consistency going of winning a Grand Slam. The youngster who was only 18, the Italian Yannick Sinner, who was there for the first time. I mean, great to see him. He lost first round, but he's a player who's going to be, I have no doubt, top 10 in the world. But maybe not next year or the year after. He'll be 19, 20. But I do think there are a lot of young guys. Stefanos Tsitsipas, another guy, incredibly talented. And Dominic Thiem. I actually had Dominic Thiem. I thought he could break through and win the French Open this year if it was played this May. But having made the last two finals at Roland Garros. But I do think his time will come. He'll win a Grand Slam as well. But yeah, I think Rafa and Novak are certainly going to still be into 2021, still be very, very much competing at every Grand Slam, but there will be more challenges, and I think we'll see a more of a mixture of results. It won't just be won by one or two players.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thanks for your time, Matt. Just a final question. You've obviously seen a couple of my podcasts. Given the gap in the market now for sports journalism, do you think I have a chance of being the face of sport going forward?
Well, I think if you incorporated me into your podcast on a weekly basis, we could get the tennis ones going properly. I know your Northcote Tennis Club are incredibly proud of what you do, and I do love your enthusiasm and passion. So, you know, why not?
Well, Matt, that's the first person who said something positive to me. So thanks for that, and thanks for joining us today.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Cheers, Matt. See you.